excited about tonight because we are trying a new topic tonight that we haven't tried in a while. We have been trying to reach out to our singles. We've been trying to reach out to our singles. So for anybody up here that could tag people, hey Fat Tag, that could tag people or whatever, tag who you want to tag. Yes, Trendy Treasures. I had part of it right.
She did.
I had Treasures by Trivia right.
It's okay.
Anyway, okay, so with that being said, tonight we want to touch on a topic that we want to reach out. Hey Keisha.
I didn't do it.
You do it every time. You do it every time. You do it every time.
Don't do this.
But yeah, we wanted to reach out to our singles, and it's not to single them out per se, but we always, but I wanted to just hear their thoughts, get what's going on in their head about being single, especially in this season, in this time, in this decade, in this century,
in this shutdown,
you know what I'm saying? But then also to break up some of the myths. Because, before a lot of us got married, we were single. You know what I'm saying? We've all been single.
But you don't understand how it is to be single?
Yeah, a lot of people, that's one of the things right there. It's like once you get married, people like, you don't know what it means to be single. I was like, I was single, yes. Hey, Ty, I'm glad you tuned in.
Hey, man. Ty, congratulations, dude.
Congrats, man.
On your exam, man.
Hey, Toya. Yes, we want all y'all to come in. Share this with your friends. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Hit the hearts. We really want to hear from you guys on tonight. And for those who are new to our page, Thursday Love, new to our live, we like to chat. We like to cut up. We like to have fun. We like to conversate. Me and TJ don't want to do all the talking.
Toya, DJ.
So, yeah, so,
Go get jelly.
We've been wanting to talk to our singles for a while. Every year I've been asking TJ, can we talk to the singles? Don't
lie to the singles. You've been asking me, can we talk to the singles?
I have been discussing it. I have said I want to do something with the singles.
You've been discussing it in your brain.
Hey mother, Eloise. Hey George.
Cut the monkey. What?
Hey Riri.
Who said cut the monkey?
Bishop Dixon.
Cut the monkey.
Bishop Dixon.
You still got a hangover from Sunday morning.
Cut the monkey. What is cut the monkey?
That's some old stuff you got for the
I don't know. Hey Tayshawn. But for those that are up here, for those that are single, you got single friends, share this. If you're dating, share this. For those that are married, share it with your single friends. We just want to, hey Joyce, we really wanted to reach out to see what is going on with our singles, to see what their mind say. Hey Baker, to see what's going on in their head, to see what they're thinking, what they think about relationships, what they think about dating, what do they think about being single? Because I know when I was single, I enjoyed being single. I loved being single. I did not want to get married. I did not want to have kids. I enjoyed my freedom. For those that were single.
So you ain't free?
I am free. It's just a different freedom.
Explain it.
It's just a different freedom now.
I hope y'all hear this.
So yeah, for those that are single, how does it feel to be single? For those that are married, how did you feel when you were single? Were you ready to get married, or did you enjoy your singleness? You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed my single life. I love my single life. I got my freedom, my independence. I got to do what I want. I was selfish, as I would say.
Are you selfish anymore?
No, I'm not selfish now. I'm not selfish. I'm spoiled. That's what I am. I'm spoiled.
Hashtag selfish.
I'm spoiled. What about you? When you were single, how was it for you?
I'm not discussing my singleness here on Facebook Live.
How did it make you feel? You don't have to discuss what you did.
When I was single, how did it make me feel? Free.
Okay. Is it a freedom that you don't have now?
No, I'm still free. I'm still free. I did what I wanted when I was single. I did what I wanted now.
Tayshawn said, I enjoy being single. Kenna said, it feels amazing to be single, 26 and living, baby. Oh, yeah. Say it again. Yes. Baker said, I love marriage.
Thank you, Baker. Somebody's finally honest.
Hey, AJ.
Malcolm said, talk about the woman who are gold diggers.
I would like to try to take a man for his money. Don't like to respect him for who he is. It's just want their money.
Malcolm, you can get us in trouble.
Yes, Malcolm. Bishop said being single is okay for a moment, but now I'm tired of this church of singleness.
So yours is different, Bishop. Felicia, I never wanted married. She said, I never wanted to get married or have kids either. Well,
but
brick house.
Hey Jessica. Reese said I did too. I spoiled me. Anything I wanted, I got, and I did. There's a part of me that misses being single. Hey Lamar. Surname. Hey Vet. It took some time, but I'm good now. Joy said I enjoyed the single life, had a lot of fun, but going out, boring after a while. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, man.
Hey Tammy.
To me, see, I'm different, y'all, and I'm being honest. Like, I enjoyed my single life, but being single and trying to live holy, it's hard. It's real. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I ain't gonna sit here and act like some super Christian. Being single and trying to live for God, it's hard. And look, let me say this: for all y'all who's single and love Jesus, my hat goes off to you, cause you strong. You strong. Marriage saved my holiness. I'm gonna say that. Marriage saved my holiness. I ain't gonna sit here and lie like I don't care about the past and all. It saved my holiness.
And I can be honest about that too, because I did not grow up in church. So I got to do whatever I wanted to grow up being in church. If I had to say growing up being in church and I had to do right, it would have been hard. Hey Jordan.
What's up, Jordan? Steve said when you find and trying to live saved, it's hard. Great Chief. Steve?
You fine, Steve. That's right, Lamar. That's that Lamar coming out right there.
Let's see how you look without that haircut. Moses and Abraham Lincoln.
No, I got to read it. Denise said, all right. Hey, Majan. I didn't know you was up here. Hey, Majan. Okay, so Baker said, I'm single now and loving the single life too. I dislike all the crazy stuff now. Now I make myself stay in the house to save my holiness.
and be honest, man, it's dangerous to me. Honestly, it's dangerous. It's more dangerous now, man.
Hey,
being single. Actually, to me, it's safer being married than it is single. I'm serious. For those who are single, y'all are the real MVPs. Like, it is so difficult. Especially, I mean, nothing against, lesbian and gays or anything like that, because straight folks, some of them just as crazy as anything. But it's hard because, like, it's so much stuff to get into now. And my parents used to say, trouble is easy to get in and hard to get out.
It's more avenues now. Yeah, there's more access, easier access. Yeah, but I read a post today though. That a single friend of ours, she posted.
Why you gotta take the sex?
A single friend of ours.
Well, we already know she was.
Yeah, she posted. No, because I'm trying to say she posted that a married man was in her inbox. Some people get married and still have a single mindset. They don't change their ways. So is it really harder, or is just people don't change their ways?
What you mean?
Because he's still doing things he doing as if he was single.
Oh, he about to sign some papers. Because he about to be divorced and he gonna get caught.
So yeah, all right. So tonight's topic is discovering minds and myths of being single. I really just want to reach out to my single folks. I wanted to hear your thoughts. We wanted to hear your thoughts. So, because there's some myths out there that, being single is lonely. You know what I'm saying? Being single, all you want is sex. You know what I'm saying? There's some pressures out there about being single.
There's a lot of pressures.
Because people always say, well, when you gonna get married? When you gonna get married?
You tell them mind your business.
Act like marriage is the only thing you're supposed to do. Marriage is a choice.
Because that's what's shoved down your face.
Yeah, it's pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's shoved down your face. Marriage is a choice. And if you choose to get married, so be it. If you choose not to get married, oh well, it's still a great thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not taboo.
Yeah. Marriage ain't for everybody.
Yeah, marriage is not for everybody. And you know what I'm saying? So it's not a taboo if you don't get married. You know what I'm saying? But society has it so that you will, you feel like you missing out on something great because you didn't get married, or you didn't make a choice to get married.
Because some folks, honestly, what the Bible says is better to marry than to burn. Yo, it's a whole lot of folks got married because they want to have sex. And even though they married, they still burning. So tonight I want to hear from you guys. I want y'all to chime in. Tell me how it is to be single in 2020. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you how it was to be single
in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah, because Sherry
Well, the late 90s and just 2000.
Sherry got some age 10 years.
So you know what I'm saying.
She knows.
But for those who are in 2020, ain't nobody studying you. For those that are in 2020, how does it feel to be single these days? You know what I'm saying? Are you excited about being single? Do you feel lonely sometimes? Or do you have any misconceptions about marriage? I mean, do you have any questions about marriage?
How does it feel to be single and stay in place?
Stay in place is one of the things. Because they also say that, people that are single, one of the myths, okay, so they got a few myths out there. That if you're single, you don't want to be coupled up. You don't want to be with nobody. Is that true? Another myth they have is that if you're single, you're miserable and lonely. And the thing is, with that myth, that may be the case for some people, because some people are longing for a relationship. But if you're longing for a relationship, what can we do to get you to focus on you? What can we do to make a healthier you? What can we do to encourage you to love your singleness? And if God do send someone your way, how to embrace that?
I have another myth, and I've heard this thing. People have said this for so long. They said it for years. They said that before you get married, you need to be, what it says, you need to be 100%. That's what it said. You need to be 100%. You need to be darn near perfect before you get married. Let me say something, man. So the Bible calls it's the helpmate, right? So this is my helpmate. So it's technically, it's like a 50-50. Really. It's 100. Yeah, but I'm just
100.
using just for mathematical equations.
Okay.
Ain't nobody perfect. All right. So if those who are out there, if you looking to be perfect before you get married, then yes, you're gonna be single for the rest of your life. Because there ain't no such thing as perfect.
Yeah, that is a myth in itself.
That's a myth, because
that's a myth.
If you were perfect, you wouldn't need anybody, and plus you would be Jesus. And last time I checked, there's only one Jesus. So everybody that gets married goes into the marriage. Everybody gets married goes into the marriage with some type of flaws. All right, whether your leg is longer than the other, your arm is longer than the other, one of your ears bigger than the other, one of your eyes cockeyed than the other. Everybody go
Those are the physical attributes.
Everybody go into a marriage with some type of flaw. Yeah. Seriously, physical flaw, mental flaw. You might still have some type of insecurity about yourself, or you might be too overconfident. That's still a flaw. All right, because it turns into a place of arrogance, and nobody really likes to be around a person who's really arrogant. Yeah. All right, so there ain't no such thing as being perfect. All right, as being flawless in getting married, as in not making any mistake. That's a myth. That's a major myth, and I think that's one of the myths that keep people. And that's a lie that's been told for years. And there's a lot of people who bought into that mess, and they are single because
they said I'm perfect.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You always say that to me, like I'm perfect.
Yeah.
I'm perfect.
That's right. I'm married to perfect. I got you, Otis. But yeah, that is a misconception, and don't believe that lie, y'all, because you'll be trying to dot every I and cross every T for the rest of your life and miss that man that's for you, or miss that woman for you. Right. So yeah, when I got married to Sherry, yes, I am perfect. But nah,
I'm perfect and fine.
Seriously, when I got married, I had some issues. I'm married and I still got issues. Seriously, I'm still working on what the Bible says: work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yeah. I'm still working on my issues. And when I got married to Sharon, I can attest she had issues, and I attest she still got issues.
Wait a minute, you flipped that. You flipped it.
Like that, didn't you? That was one of my perfect flaws.
Dixie said, I wanted to be married, but always said that I don't know what that is. I always said that I ain't, okay, y'all got to write English here in there. Marriage until I have something established, such as a place to live with my wife, something to fall on, to be able to take care of my family. Okay, yeah. I got that, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to be living with my mama, only take care of my love in my mom's crib. Hey, Brandy.
Yeah, that ain't a myth. That's a fact.
Hey, Yolanda.
I agree with that. That was my trepidation, Bishop, of getting married.
Yes, we love you too, Vete.
Yeah, that was one of my trepidations, because I said, so those who don't know, those who up here, me and Sherry we dated for 6 years.
Dated for 6 years.
We didn't date for 6 months. There's some folks who say they dated for 6 days and got married, and some of them stayed, and some of them got divorced. There's some who've been dating for 6 months. From engaged 6 months, and they got married. They stayed forever, and then some of them got divorced. But in sharing our relationship, we dated for 6 years for that particular reason, David. Because I didn't want to get married to Sherry not being able to take care of her. Yes, she had a job. Yes, I had a job, but I didn't want to get married not being able to. So if something were to happen, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to make sure that I could take care of both of us. So yeah, I waited until I got myself in a financial position to get married. To even propose to her. And mind you, man, she was mad for 6 years. She was mad.
Not for 6 years.
She was mad.
Not for 6 years.
Well, a lot of them 6 years.
No, it was just the last 2.
She was mad.
Okay, so
MADDD.
whatever. All right, so another myth for those out there: how many have been told that you need to be whole before you get into a serious relationship? How many have been told you need to be whole before you get married? And this is, how many have heard that? You know what I'm saying?
We've heard that for years.
We've heard that, but I'm saying, but how many have heard that you need to be whole and you need to be well put together and stuff like that? Hey, Tarsha. The thing is, I think that's a misconception.
It's the what?
I'm trying to get it out. It's a misconception or it's a myth.
Steve said look crazy out here.
Yeah.
Send us a picture, Steve. Post it.
That was earlier.
It's all right. Post it.
So, the thing is, one of the myths is that you have to be whole or you have to be complete before you get with somebody. In my opinion, I'm nobody's counselor, I'm nobody's pastor, but what I'm saying, in my opinion, I don't think you can be completely whole. I do think you do need to work on yourself.
Yes, don't go get married if you completely jacked up. Yeah. That's a different thing.
Hey, Pamela, I don't think you just go into a relationship just jacked up. You got issues, you ain't got yourself together. I do think you should take some time out, get yourself together, work on your attitude, work on your finances, work on your insecurities and your confidence. I think you should work on those type of things, yes. But will you be completely whole before you get married? I don't agree with that because I still went into this marriage with some baggage. There were some things that I still needed to work on. Because see, the thing about marriage is you're forever evolving, you're forever growing, you're forever changing because you're getting older. And the thing is, you don't know how you're going to respond to something at 25 and then you don't know how you're going to respond to something at 30. Like between 20 and 30, you go through a lot of changes. Between 30 and 40 and 40 through 50 and so on and so on. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, working on yourself, becoming whole is like a lifetime process. And if you,
it's like your relationship with God, man.
Yeah, it's like a lifetime process. Hey, God, mommy. Hey, Charity. So yeah, you have to, like, I agree, Otis. You need to be self-aware and open to grow.
Yeah.
The thing is, for those that are up here, I asked the question earlier, but I guess we didn't get much feedback. But for those that are up here that are single and living life to the best that you can live it, how do you feel about living single? How do you feel about living life single? Are you looking for marriage? Are you just enjoying your singleness? You know what I'm saying? Are there some myths out there or some comments that people have made to you that you don't like? You know what I'm saying? That you don't agree with? Or do you have any questions? Like, we want to make this an open forum for people to feel like they can pour in their questions, pour in your comments, because me and TJ don't want to do all the talking, because we do have our own perception of things. But like I said, there's a lot of myths out there. But we also want to know what's on your mind. What is on your mind? For those that are up here.
Felicia said, I settle, big mistake.
Who said that? Felicia said, I settle, big mistake.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. A lot of us settle. Because
of the lies people have told us about marriage.
Yeah. What
about
lies?
How we gotta be. We gotta be a certain type of way before we can get married.
Yeah. What lies are? What are those lies? Pam said, willing to man up.
Let me read Vet's.
Oh, where?
Vet said, when you're not dating, it's easy, but when you're dating someone you like and attractive, it's hard. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was. I think that was earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
David said, well, I'm too old now to make any kind of kid. Man, whatever, David. You're like 25, man, with dreads.
Pam said, willing to man up and woman up, maturity to deal with ourselves before we make commitment with someone else.
No, we do have a question. We have a question from Ty.
Okay.
Ty said, he said, for the sake of clarity,
yeah, you skipped.
I want
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you were ahead of me. Go ahead.
All right. He said, for the sake of clarity, I want to ask, are we talking single as in not married, but possibly dating, or single as in no dating or anything? Both.
Yes, both.
Both.
Technically,
Both,
you are single until you're married.
Yeah.
If you're dating and you're in a serious relationship, you're technically still single. You're not married.
Even when you're engaged, you are still single. Once you say, I do, then you're married.
And once them papers are legalized and you pay your fee,
because you could be engaged and then the day before the wedding, you split and you still single.
Yeah.
So we talk about single by yourself, single dating.
Yeah.
Single engaged. Rings.
Vete said, on a serious note, when my husband and I were going through our issues, we separated for 7 years. He got himself together and I got halfway better than better and was appointed over the singles ministry at my church to express to women and men of God that was hurting. So did a segment that has scars from my wounds. I will forward it to you. Okay, great.
Hold on, Camilla. I'm gonna call her Camilla. I like it. Camilla. Well, we got good news for you. You ain't got to worry about going to Ruby Tuesdays or Applebee's right there because you got to stay in place. I just want to say that. I'm sorry. All right.
Where's Camilla at?
She was up. She right under the date. She was coming.
Ty said, technically, I'm single because I'm not married, but I'm dating with a purpose. I don't like being single, so I'm pursuing marriage.
Keisha said she don't like being single.
Hey, Kim. Yeah. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people out there that are dating.
Yeah.
Some people really enjoy being single. And our advice to those that are single and enjoy being single, enjoy it. Look at every day as a happy thing. Don't look at being single as a taboo or a bad thing. Enjoy your life. Live your life. Get to know who you are. Get to know what you like, what you don't like. Get to know the type of foods you like, the music you like, the place you like to go. Go traveling. Get with your friends. Enjoy your friends. Those are the type of things that you do. But if you're single and you're dating and you're pursuing marriage, then yes, do all the things that I just stated, but also really get to know who you are, because you're doing a presentation to the person you're talking about being serious with. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things certain past issues that you want to get rid of or deal with or confront. Like my cousin Vete said that, her and her husband separated for a certain amount of years and she had to deal with single ministry. There's a lot of single people that are hurt and damaged.
Yeah.
And I wonder, why is that? Why are our singles hurt and damaged when they should be living their best life? Because even the Bible talks about, you should be living your best life and it should be full of ministry and the things of God, because you're more accessible and you're more available to be used. So I wonder, why are singles hurt? Why are singles damaged? Like, what are the problems? What are the causes?
You know what? I will honestly say that some people are still single because of what they've seen.
Okay.
They haven't seen good examples of marriage.
Okay.
Maybe they had parents who had issues and got divorced, and it scared them.
Right.
And they said, well, I don't want to marry a man like this person. I don't want to marry a woman like this person. So I think some singles are single still because of the examples that they've seen. It tarnished it, like some people within the church. It tarnished their outlook on marriage. You know what I'm saying? And since they haven't seen an example of a happy marriage, they have this myth of this figment in their mind. If I get married, this is how my marriage is going to turn out. I'm not going to be happy. My husband's going to abuse me, or my wife is going to talk to me like I'm anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think for some people, it's because of what they've seen.
And I want to kill that. If you are single and you said you saw bad marriages as you were growing up or all around you, you have to kill that misnomer in your head. And I'm a living example, because my parents, God rest my mother's soul, my parents, they were married for 16 years. They argued, they fought, they had good times. I saw some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they got divorced when I was 14. And never once did I think, well, when I get married, I'm going to be divorced after a few years. No, my life is my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your mom's life is your mom's life. Your dad's life is your dad's life. If they chose to get married, if they chose to, they couldn't work it out, that was on them.
Right.
Your life is your life. Your life is what you make it. It is the choices that you make. You know what I'm saying? It's the mindset the positive mindset that you put in front of it. It's the actions that you do. You know what I'm saying? Otis said it, the social pressure to be in a relationship. We stated that earlier. Yeah, society feels like when you're single, you have to get married. You know what I'm saying? Or because people around you are married, you have to get married. No, it is your life. Marriage is a choice.
Right.
Go ahead.
We free you. We free you from the mistakes of somebody else.
Right.
Your life, yes, your life is your life. God is He's giving you only one life. You know what I'm saying? What somebody else did or whatever decision that somebody else made to become divorced, because it's all a choice. Before that man hits that woman, it's a choice. He makes a decision to put his hands on that woman.
Right.
Before she put her hand on that man, she makes a decision to put her hand on him. Before he decides to cuss her out, he makes a decision. He makes a decision before he does it. Before he leaves his children, or before he leaves his wife, or before she leaves her children, or before she leaves her husband. Yeah. She made that decision to do that. And just because they made that decision to do that doesn't mean that you're going to do the same thing.
Right.
So free yourself of those fears. Free yourself of those that pain. Free yourself. Matter of fact, say to yourself, I am not a product of somebody else's mistake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have your own life in your hands. Whatever decisions you choose to make is the decisions you choose to make. Now, you don't have to make the same decisions that they made. You can make better decisions. And I promise you, if you make better decisions, your life will turn out differently. I know there's some people say, well, if the since they did it, it's going to happen to me. No, stop speaking that stuff. Life and death, power of life and death lies in the tongue. Whatever you speak, it's going to come to pass. So if you speak, the mistakes of somebody else's, of course, you already spoke it. Of course it's going to happen. But if you speak life to what you have, you speak life to your marriage, you speak life to yourself. Of course, if you speak life, you're going to receive life. Right. But if you speak death, that's what you're going to reap also. Whatever seeds you sow with your mouth, that's what you're going to reap.
Right. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily took on the mindset of being like my parents. I could have. But I didn't do that. It's honestly taking that.
But she got great parents.
Yeah.
She had great parents.
It's honestly taking that decision. I'm talking about the divorce part. I'm not talking about what they did in between, but just yeah.
Somebody tried to oh, she got my parents.
Yeah. Hey, Crystal. Hey, the thing is that when you see something, it's just like a mistake. When you make a mistake, instead of looking at it as a failure, you look at it as a lesson to be learned.
Right, learning too.
So the thing is, when you see somebody else's life and they doing something negative, whether it be hitting, cheating, abuse, domestic violence, whatever it may be, drugs, alcohol, cussing, whatever it may be, you look at it as a mistake and it's a lesson to be learned. So what can I learn from what they did? You know what I'm saying? What can I learn from this? Do I become like them, which is the negative aspect of it, or do I change my mindset? Okay, what is in me that says I am not like that? You know what I'm saying? My mom was loud. They liked to talk loud. They were very argumentative. You know what I'm saying? I brought that with me.
I broke that mess up.
Hey, Anika.
I
broke it. I brought that with me.
Sherry would come in and fussing. I would just look at her.
I would argue.
And then I would respond with oh God, it used to burn her up. She'd be yelling. And I respond to her just to calm, and it will burn up.
It would tear my, because I come from a family, we talk loud, we argue loud, we just and to have a man in my life that's quiet.
I'm like, look, last time I checked, I'm grown. So if you want to have a conversation, we're gonna have to conversate. I'm not yelling at you. Yeah. So it got to the point where she realized she was yelling really at herself, because all it literally sounded like that teacher on Charlie Brown, that walk, 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 walk. And it got to the point where I didn't even hear the walk, walk. It was just completely silence.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where she was just like, you know what? I'm tired of arguing with myself. And so then she started bringing that tone down.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Right up a child, where did she go? When they get older, they want to
Baby, I ain't your child. Whatever, I'm not your child.
Scripture. You can't go wrong with scripture.
But the thing is, I brought that with me. And I realized that yelling at my husband.
That mess back.
Yelling at my husband for
chill.
Yelling at my husband for any
Abuse.
and everything.
Y'all saw that, right?
Whatever. Any and everything does not accomplish anything. And I was like, I can't bring this into my marriage. And so I had to find out what worked in my marriage. So that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so who was I saw? Reese said, free yourself from opinions of other people.
That'll save your life.
It's a major statement, but how do you do that? How do you free yourself? We say it all the time. We say it in church. We say it everywhere with friends. Don't care what other people think. Free yourself from other people's opinions. Don't compare yourselves to other people. We say those comments all the time, but they're loaded. They're very loaded. How do I tell someone to free myself from someone else's opinion? How do I stop comparing myself to what I see? How do I change my mindset about the things I've already seen or whatever? You know what I'm saying? We're quick to give out nuggets, but some people literally have to walk through this thing and they don't know how to walk through it. I can honestly say when people say, well, free yourself from other people's opinions, I'm like, okay. And then next thing I know, soon as so-and-so say something about me, I'm like, what? Or if TJ makes a simple comment, baby, I didn't like that dress. I'm worried now. I'm worried now.
I didn't like it. I didn't like that color.
For those that are up here, can you give me some insight? If someone was single and they were so concerned about what society says about their looks and being single and if they're dating or not, or if they're married or not, how do they free themselves from other people's opinions? How would you explain that? How would you help them out? Because I'm curious to do that. Because for me, I have to constantly tell myself, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful.
You are.
Thank you, baby. I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's thank you, baby. And you know what I'm saying? I have to take what someone said and try to block it. What they say, it ain't good for me. It ain't good for me. God said I'm the head and not the tail. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I may not be so strong in this area, but I'm great in this area. You know, I had to look at my strengths versus looking at my weaknesses. It was like a practice of a daily habit. But for those that are up here, I need y'all to, come on, y'all know how we do on Thursday Love. I need y'all to chime in and talk to me.
For me, to free myself from other people's opinion, here's the thing, man. Let me.
He said, I know I'm sick.
People's opinions are like cancer. And what do I mean? People's opinions are they're like seeds also. So it's seeds in dirt with water. So if you throw seeds in dirt and you water those seeds will eventually grow. All right. And before you know it, depends on what type of seeds you are, whether it's flowers or trees or whatever. If you allow that seed to be planted into that ground and allow that, because you're going to water the seed with your thoughts. You're going to water it with your thoughts. You keep pondering on it, that thing will keep growing and growing and growing. Before you know it, it's going to become a whole tree. And then you're going to be able to do nothing with it. So as soon as somebody speak negative, I ain't going to say truth, as soon as they speak, because sometimes what folks say is actually the truth. You just don't want to admit what they're saying is the truth.
Right.
But when they speak negative stuff, man, when they speak stuff that speaks against what God has said about you and what you know to be true about yourself, immediately speak against it. Don't give that thought. That's how you free yourself. Don't give that thought time to even lay in your mind. As soon as it's spoken, immediately speak against it. You go ahead and cancel it there, because if you don't cancel it with speaking against it, it is going to become cancer. And it is going to spread. And before you know it, you're going to be insecure about everything, because you're going to be concerned. Oh, look at my face. Oh, man, I need to put this on because to cover this up. Oh, this dress. Oh, they say it's too tight. I need to get some loose.
Tight dress on?
Sometimes I like to be. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell Facebook that I try on your dresses when you're not around.
Right.
Oh, man. Anyway, as I was saying. But yeah, you gotta immediately speak against it. Mm-hmm. You can't let that junk settle. You can't let that junk sit, because if you do, it's gonna start growing. Mm-hmm. Clarice said.
No, Vete said.
Oh, Vete.
Well, first Bishop said that he is sexy. He know he's sexy and handsome. Yes, you are, Bishop.
I am not commenting on that one. Vete said.
With them snacks.
Yeah, Vete said everyone has an opinion. Love yourself and write your success in stone.
Yeah.
And your failures in the sand and learn from it. That sounds like a book, Vete. Get to work. Clarice said, for me, can I talk like her?
Yeah, go ahead. Work it.
For me, It took a long period gaining. Let me stop. For me, it took a long period gaining a sense of boldness. I even shut some people out of my life, which allowed me to hear God and begin to see and hear clear. You know what? It's the thing about we say we cut people out. You actually don't have to cut people out. You can just tune them out, because you can make a decision in your mind. You know what?
No, sometimes it's healthy to cut certain people.
But I'm saying you can also, now that's different if you're talking about, that man or that woman who don't mean you no good. That's a different. But I'm talking about like people's in their mouths. You could just you literally you just make up in your mind, man. Look, I'm not paying attention to what you're saying, because what you're talking about is just a bunch of hogwash. And it's really honestly how you do it. It's a mindset. It literally is a mind. It is a mindset. And the Bible does say, "Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus." It literally is a mindset. And sometimes you do have to, if you want to be spiritual, sometimes you do have to go get the word of God and combat against what somebody spoke against you. You literally have to take that word of life and speak to the death that people try to speak over you. Yeah. You literally do, because once the word of God gets into your mind, it'll cancel out that crap that folks saying against you. Mm-hmm.
But it's
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Margaret. Appreciate that.
The thing is that with being single, I really wanted a lot of the singles to come up here and say some things. Crystal said you have to know your worth and know what God says about you, which is a very key statement, Crystal. Because I can honestly say when I was single, I did not know my worth. I did not know my value. I didn't have much confidence. Now, I don't know about any other people, if you're single now or when you were single. When I was single, I was in my 20s. I did not know my worth. I was not very confident. I didn't know my value. I didn't respect myself as much. You know what I'm saying? I did some things that belittled me. And it wasn't until I started getting older that I started feeling better about myself. But the thing is, some people have low self-esteem. Some people are, it's in them automatically to be confident. It's in them to just love themselves and just know who they are. But there's some people out there that just, they have a hard time. They struggle with self-esteem. They struggle with their self-worth and their self-value. And so with that, the thing about that, you look for other people to give you validation and confirmation. And the thing is, when you're trying to know your self-worth and you're trying to know your self-value and your confidence, it has to come from within. It's something you pray to God for. But back then I wasn't in church, so I didn't know God like that. So I didn't know to pray to God. But, I look for validation in other things. I look for validation in alcohol. I look for validation in smoking weed. I look for validation in having sex. I look for validation in things that were not healthy for me. And it led me down some bad paths. And that's the thing sometimes when you don't have no one in your life to really love you like that or show you the way, it tends to open up some negative doors. And then, so when you tell somebody, because I'm thinking about this thing, if I had to go back and talk to my teenage self or my young adult self, or if you know some singles in their life right now, they're very immature, they're very hard-headed because they think they know everything. Because we've been there. We all been there. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And some of us still there.
You got some adults who still there.
Yeah, and then you trying to tell them to know your worth. They probably don't even know what the definition of worth is. Because I can honestly say in my 20s, I probably didn't know the definition of worth. And so to know my worth. So sometimes I look at it as ABC. Like if you had to go back and explain to someone that is younger, knowing that they're a bit stubborn, knowing that they're a bit immature, knowing that they're trying to do everything to conquer the world, and in their feelings and in their emotions because their hormones are raging, how would you explain it to them? How could you help them,
Right. Let's see. Clarice.
Go back to Ty. Ty was the first one.
Ty said, what did Ty say? I'm trying to find you, Ty.
I got it. Go ahead. No one's opinion should hold more weight than your own. Some seek validation from peers as opposed to seeking it from God's word. Exactly, Ty. George says, cutting people out blessed my life. Laugh out loud. Couldn't have those vibes. This is really how I began to be bold and love who I am. You got it? There you go. Yeah. Right there.
So Bette said, it starts with self. Know yourself, people.
People need
to be mindful that we are our worst critics. Remind yourself daily that these thoughts are not facts. Exactly. David said, knowing your worth is very key. I know my worth, and singles, you have to stop just settling for anything. And I think Felicia said earlier, she said that's what she did. She settled, and it was a big mistake. Yeah. So let me say this, y'all. You don't have to settle. You don't have to buy into the myth that people are saying. Look, wait for the right person. Because you only want to get, truthfully, you only want to get married once. Wait for the right person. Don't rush. Because you want this thing to be final. You know what I'm saying? Because once you get married, man, you're putting your emotions into this thing. You're putting your feelings into it. You're opening up your heart. You know what I'm saying? So take your time. Seriously. I don't care if you're 40. Still take your time. Because you still have, honestly, you still have time because you're giving yourself over to somebody, you know what I'm saying, to say, hey, I'm yours. You can do as you choose. You know what I'm saying? So you still have time.
Society make you feel like you got to get married by the time you're 30. You got to have kids by the time you're 30.
Right.
You know, and that's not always the case. That's not always the case.
Miss Margaret said, it took me 50 years to learn myself, self-worth, and enjoy myself. But you know what, Miss Margaret, we can praise God because even though it took you 50 years to know your worth, you found your worth.
That's right.
There's some people who are 51 or 50, whatever, and still don't know their worth. So it's a blessing to even be able to tell that testimony that you know your worth.
Crystal said yes, and when we don't know our worth, we depend on others to validate us and to fill those voids. Thurman said, I did a lot of stuff because I was curious and just bad.
Savage, I ain't even going to agree with you, even though I agree with you.
Okay. You want to read Pam?
Us Holy Temple boys.
Read Pam's.
Pam said, she said, I'm a single woman who struggles with trusting a man. I really want to do better, but it's a revolving door. Emotional wounds need to be healed. And it's okay, Pam, to take time to be healed. It is.
And you have to get to the root of the cause of why you don't trust anymore.
Right. Or the reason why the same things why things still keep continuing to revolve.
Yeah. What is the signs?
What is the signs, or what is the missing link, or what is the decision that's being made to put yourself in that same position again?
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes, and this is not net negative, but sometimes we find ourselves back in the same situations because of the decision that we make. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe we're choosing the wrong mate or whatever.
We're settling. We're giving in too easily.
And that's why I was saying that we don't have to rush. I mean, okay, yeah, easier said than done.
Yes.
I'm already married. You know what I'm saying? We've been married for a while. So, you know, but we still waited in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We still waited for 6 years before we got married. Well, it wasn't her choice.
But even when I was dating before you, I did the same cycle of men.
Right.
So it was the same type of men that didn't really do me no good, did me no good. And it was the decisions that I was making because I was looking for a certain guy. And so I was picking a certain guy. And said I allowed God to bring a certain guy my way, and the guy that God
I forced myself in there.
Whatever the way that God worked it out, I allowed it to happen because it wasn't my normal type. It wasn't my normal thing. It just wasn't. It was out of my comfort zone, and I allowed it to happen, and it worked.
Savage said he started with his group of three things: lunch, pee, and girls.
Crofton.
And you got all three, man.
But Pamela, that's the thing. You have to get, and the thing is, you can't base your future on what happened in your past.
Right. That's why it's a past. It means it's already happened.
You know, you can't base your future on your past. So if someone hurt you in your past, if someone did some damage in your past, you have to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to forgive that situation and forgive whoever it was. Mm-hmm. And then heal from that and move on. The thing about love and choosing to love someone again, it's a risk. Whether it be a friendship, whether it be a relationship. I gotta take this thing out of my mouth. Whether it be either one of them, whether it be either one, it's a risk. Love is a risk. No matter what, it's a risk. And you have to step out on faith. But the thing is, as long as you got God guiding you, because I have a best friend that she puts God before anything because she knows she made some bad decisions or whatever. But now she's letting God guide her in that, and she's willing, and she just to hear her talk now, just to hear her say how God is healing her and working on her. You know, sometimes you're like, it's hard, Sherry, but you know, she working on it. She's working on it, and I love it because God is going to send who she needs her way, and it's gonna be a blessing. And I can't wait. I'm excited for her.
Yeah. That said, I had to realize, knowing my self-worth, that I don't have to settle anymore.
Right.
And that is so key. That's the third time we've heard that thing. Settle. You do not have to settle.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, you are too important to settle.
Yeah.
You are female. You are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Men, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. God invested too much time in you for you to settle for anything. You don't have to settle for anything.
Yeah. Now I'm about to make a comment that is a whole nother discussion. We had it once before about 2 years ago. Expectations and standards.
Well,
now, because see, that's a whole nother discussion. Now, we telling you not to settle, but sometimes your expectations and your standards could be ridiculous.
Now, there's nothing wrong with having expectations.
Nothing wrong with having them.
You should have expectations. And
Right.
you should have standards.
Right.
But when your standards, your expectations are unreachable,
Right.
then that's an indication, hint, why you're still single.
Like, I'm only marrying a dark-skinned dude. That was my standard. I said I was getting
I'm sorry. He had to be dark skinned.
I was like,
he had to be
my man had to be dark skinned, bald headed.
The muscular part. She got that part. Athletic, she got that part. I am athletic and I am muscular.
And smile. Yes.
Did I have that?
Good hair.
I had that.
Yeah, I had all, because women, we make a list. We make a list.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But
it's like
I had made my mind.
He's checking it twice.
Really? I had made my mind.
Sometimes Santa Claus don't come to town.
I made up my mind I was going to marry me a chocolate man.
That
was going to be a chocolate.
But you already chocolate. You need a chocolate man too.
Lord
Y'all
have
chocolate. You need somebody to bring out the best in you, said Jessica Armstrong. Always. David said, me being a bishop, I need a wife who can accept ministry and always know that she won't be left behind. That is so key. And as pastors, if we don't allow our wives to feel like they're left behind, meaning if we don't put ministry and we don't put other folks before our wives, they'll never feel left behind. We have to always let our wife know that no matter how much ministry we do, none of that is more important than she is. Yeah, I agree with that.
Vete said, I work in mental health, and I tell them we all have a narrative or a story we create about ourselves that shapes our self-perceptions, upon which core self-image is based. If we want to change that story, we want to understand where it comes from and where the message we tell ourselves. Ask yourself, whose voice are you internalizing? That is amazing, Vete. That is amazing. Whose voice are you internalizing? Who are you listening to? Because I can honestly say when I was growing up, I was not listening to mine. It's not until that I have grown through what I've gone through the past decade, the past 10 years of my life, I can honestly say I now listen to my voice.
You're welcome, Pam.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. What's up? Thurman said, my lovely wife had a really nice right hook to help me with my mistakes. Right. Sometimes we need that lick, Thurman. Yes, ma'am, you do, Miss Margaret. You sure do matter.
Yes.
Let me see. Pam said, yes, chocolate brother sis. She got a vanilla one, Pam. Vanilla, and it's sweet vanilla. You're supposed to say yes.
No, the sweet
I'm not
part
sweet.
Yeah, the sweet.
Yes, I am sweet.
Yeah,
I am sweet.
But you're not.
I'm
that
not that
sweet.
form of sweet, but I am sweet.
There we go. All right.
Steve,
say what was the question?
Really?
Steve, you late. We don't.
You must have went to go get a haircut.
Yeah, you. We done talked about like 5 different things. But we were saying, we was talking about settling because a lot of people settle because they want to be loved. They want the attention. They want to be with someone. So they settle a lot. They settle. And I was saying that sometimes when we say don't settle, we understand you have standards and expectations, but some standards and expectations are just far-fetched. So sometimes make sure that your expectations are realistic. Make sure your standards are reachable because some people create standards that are way too high.
They're not even standards anymore.
They're not even standards. And some people take them into their marriage. So, it's funny, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay, what was another one? I had another one before Steven said that. This is another myth that people say. I hear mostly women say this. I'm single because there's no good men out there.
Boom. Men can say the same thing. I'm single because there ain't no good women out there.
Now, how many men have ever said, I'm single because there's no good women out there?
Well, I never really had a problem with that.
I mean, but I'm just saying. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, Cassandra. But
or all men are dogs.
All men are dogs. All men. No, this is it. All men are dogs. All men are gay, and all men are in prison. That ain't true. That ain't true. Hey, Rick.
I'm not gay. I'm not in prison, and I don't have 4 legs. I only got 2.
Yeah, I ain't never said there were any good women. See? But that's the thing. There's a good man out there. There are good men out there. It's just a lot of bad ones make it hard for the good ones to be seen.
It's really not a lot of bad ones. It's a small amount of bad ones that makes it bad for the rest of them.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the women. Yeah. Look, man, just like God created, everything that God created is good. Now, the decisions that we make screw us up. All right? Mm-hmm. But there are good men out there. There are good women out there. The thing is, you got to be willing to wait for that good man or for that good woman. You can't choose the bad. See, a lot of us have made bad decisions because we're impatient.
Right.
And that's really the thing. It's because we're impatient and we're so ready to get married. I see people all the time, man. I don't care. I'm saying, I see people all the time. I see women, because I don't really pay attention to men jump. I see women all the time that put statements on Facebook, and they are, a bunch of desperate statements. Yo, let me tell y'all something. Now, I don't do this no more because I am happily married now. For how many years have you been married?
This year would be 15.
15 years. 15 years of my life. All right, so. All right, so let me tell y'all. If I was a dude that ran the game, seriously. If I was a dude, I'm saved now, y'all. Holy Ghost filled and fire baptized and happily married. But if I was a man that ran game, for all the women that play raw, for all the women that put those desperate comments out there, I would come for you. Seriously, I would come for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're easy. You're not a. I'm just being real. You're not a mystery. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with posting stuff up there to say, X, Y, and Z. But when you keep putting comments over and over again, not only does it make you look easy, but it makes you look desperate. And so to some men, you got 2 different sides. To some men, they're going to come after you because you an easy fix. For some men, it's going to turn them off because you're too desperate. You know what I'm saying? You're not a challenge. You know what I'm saying? So that works in favor and it works against. Mm-hmm. And that's for men and women.
Yeah, that's for men and women. Okay, so Steven said, now I did have an issue with one woman that soured me for a minute. Crystal said, there are some great men out there. And Steven said, I was fitting to be a monk. I'm on the border now, Lord. Hey,
that's right, you're a worship leader.
Vet said, I believe there's a good man out there for me. That's right, Vet.
Yes, Vet.
Yeah, so, I that's the thing,
he said, now I don't have an issue with one woman that soured me for a minute. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hey, come on.
But that's the thing.
Thank you, George.
Tonight, we just wanted to really talk to some singles that were out there. So for those that chimed in, I am so glad y'all chimed in because I want to know what was in your mind. How do you feel about dating in 2020? How do you feel about being single in 2020? And that, do y'all look up to marriage anymore? Do y'all want to be married anymore? I'm not saying you have to, because like we said in the beginning of this broadcast, marriage is a choice. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get married. You know what I'm saying? You can live a great, successful life. You
got a whole lot of biblical people who did that.
You know what I'm saying? Is it hard these days? Now, yes, it is hard these days.
What did he say? Steve said dating in 2020 is a ghetto. It's ghetto. That's because you staying in place. You dating yourself because you can't go out right now. That's what that is.
So, you know what I'm saying? And we said some great key points tonight, like not settling. I think that's the major thing. A lot of people do settle because some people just want to be loved. They want to be with somebody.
That's right,
so they lower their expectations. They lower their standards. And you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody really wants to be with you, they want to get to know you, they want to evolve with you, grow with you, change with you, go through some ups and downs with you, they're going to stick no matter what. So, you know what I'm saying?
Wow. I like that. Rick said some women haven't been loved, so they don't know how to receive. That is a great point, man. Some women and men have not been loved, so they don't know how. And that's why I said earlier about we was talking about the mistakes that you've seen in in marriages and in the household. A man is, don't get me wrong, ladies, but in a girl's life, a man or a father, not a man, a father, their father, if he's still alive, all right, in a female's life, the most important example that she could have is her father, because one day she's going to get married. You know what I'm saying? Because if we love our daughters, and I say it because I got 4 now. I got an older one here and I got 3 younger ones. All right. And they all give me a time and
just
it always in my pocketbook. But anyway, you know what I'm saying, my wallet back there. You need to talk about me putting on the dress.
You just say your point.
So my point is, in a girl's life, the father is the most important, man, because we gotta show that girl, we gotta show her love. We gotta show how it is, how she should be loved. And for husbands, you show your daughter, one of the ways you show your daughter how she should be loved is by how you treat their mother. If they see you talking to their mother any kind of way, that says to them, hey, I should be with a guy who talked to me any kind of way. If you putting your hands on that woman, it's okay for me to be with a man who beat me. That's the things that they see. So if for men, if single men, if you're not in your daughter's life, shame on you. You know what I'm saying? And mothers, if you keeping that man from his daughter, shame on you. You know what I'm saying? Because in a daughter's life, that man is that example. He is that example. Men have to be in, they have to. There is no if, and, or but about it. And thank God for me, I said this like when we talk to the marriage couples. I wasn't an affectionate dude. You know what I'm saying? As long as, they was in the house, they're good. My wife said, yo, this is before we had the girls. We didn't even know we were going to have these many girls. She was like, yo, you got to change. You got to start showing some affection. Lo and behold, I got 3 girls. 4 girls. 3 girls. But and if I had never been an affectionate guy, man, I would have set my daughters up. I'd be setting them jokers up for failure. I tell my daughters how beautiful they are, how cute they are. No, there is a limit now. You don't. As a father, there is a limit because they're our daughters and not our wife. But you have to tell that girl how pretty she is, how cute she is. You have to show her how she should be loved, the fatherly way. But you have to show, and then you just have to.
But that's for those who've had that father figure. I can honestly say I had that father figure, and I still had issues. But that's because of the decisions that were made. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. See, I get your point about the father and stuff, but there's a lot of women who don't have father figures, and then they go by what the decisions that they make. But then me, I had a father figure, and you still had to work with me. You still had to hone on me. You had to reassure me that everything was going to be okay, that I'm not going nowhere. I'm right here. And some women need that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, like Pamela said earlier. She said she had a hard time trusting men. And that's probably a lot of women right now. They have a hard time trusting men because the track record, it may not be for that man, but the track record is most men cheat. And it may not be for that man. Okay. But
then you can flip the script and say, most women cheat.
Yeah.
So just like it is, because that's another thing. We can't sit here, we can't have this unbalanced equilibrium. Men already have it tough as it is. You know what I'm saying? Women the men cheat. Well, let me tell you something. Somebody said earlier, dating in 2020, it is hard. You got just as many women now that cheat. You got just as many women that cheat. Then men cheat. You got just as many women who are leaving their children behind for another man, and as a single father. So you can no longer, ladies, throw this crap into a man's face and just beat the man over the head, because you have just as many bad examples for women as you do for men. This is a different society. It is a total different generation. Yeah. Total different time. Because if that woman or that man feels like them jokers, they bounce. So we can no longer, and that's another reason why there are so many single people. Because some women continue to hold men hostage because of what past men did. And then there's some men who hold women hostage because of what some past woman did. You got to let that stuff go. You got to remove the chains. You have to. And for the women who have not had their father, God is a loving God. Seriously. God is a loving God. there has been, and there is. God will put a man. He may not be your actual father, but he'll put a man in your life to help you love. If not, the only real example you have to be able to have is God. And I know sometimes we want that. Sometimes we want that physical touch. We want that physical person, that physical man. But sometimes ladies or sometimes men, you may never get that. You know what I'm saying? You may never get that male. You may never get that female. Sometimes we have to be open and willing to allow God to be that example that we need.
Okay, so a lot of comments have went by, so I won't be able to do it. But I do want to touch George. George said that the generation is extremely different.
Yeah.
That the mindset is unique. And that's why I wanted to talk about this tonight. What is so unique about the mindset now about being single? What is so unique? What is so different now? Yes, there's a lot of stuff out there.
That's good, Miss Margaret.
What she said?
She said, truthfully, many women, and sometimes I'll say men too, don't know what they want. Marriage sounds good, but who really wants to put in who really wants to put in the work?
Yeah.
And it takes work. Yeah, marriage does take work. Marriage is not a
fantasy.
It is not a fantasy. Marriage is this is not to scare anybody, because anything that's worth keeping is worth working for. Marriage is everyday. It is everyday. You got to put in work every single day. Tomorrow morning when Sherry wakes up, she's going to be different from how she was today. Mm-hmm. I can't expect her to be the same way she was today. I don't know what the date is.
The day is the 16th.
I can't expect her to be on the 17th like she was on the 16th.
Right.
Because she's ever evolving and she's getting older. So she's, did I say that? Yes, she is getting more mature.
You're older than me.
That doesn't mean anything. It still doesn't negate the fact that you are getting older.
Hey, Juwan.
So my point is that she's not going to act on the 17th like she acted on the 16th. You know what I'm saying? So she's going to be ever evolving. So it takes work. Each day I have to figure out, man, she just got home. How's she going to be today? I got to figure out how she's going to be on that day, vice versa.
All right, Steven says singles back in the day weren't afraid to date and grow up together.
Nope.
When I say that, I mean if you dated, you stuck around when it got hard and you matured together. Yeah. So you're saying in today's time that doesn't happen? So you're saying today's time when you're single and you're just being friends or you're dating, folks don't stick around. They don't have time to stick around. Why is that? Why is that? Why?
And why y'all thinking Crystal?
Thank you, Crystal, for saying I'm aging gracefully.
You are aging gracefully.
Thank you.
If you want aging gracefully, I wouldn't grace you with your age.
Shut up.
Very true, Crystal said. It can cause their defensive mechanism to kick in and they will run away. Exactly. David said, ha, 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 pocketbook. Whatever, David.
I told you late. I done passed all that.
Well, praise God.
Jesus Christ.
Chosen to my age and not to my mind.
Jesus. But
it is a different society, man. It
Red,
is.
you said no. What do you mean? Because that's what I would like to know. Because, because I know a girl right now. She's single. They're single. They're living together. They've been together 3 years. And she's talking about, she made a comment today. She's like, I really want to know, we've been together 3.5 years. What are we doing? Are we just dating to have fun? Or are we going to make this serious? And I thought she was just enjoying life from an earlier conversation, a previous conversation. But apparently, I guess marriage is on her mind. And so are all women like that? Are men like that? Like, after a certain amount of time, it's time to get ready to go.
So Steve said today, if you're dating, if you're not talking or dating someone without the prospects of marriage, some will not stick around. I can kind of understand that a little bit because they don't want to waste their time.
All right. Dixon said, nope, that's not today's dating life. They run at the sign of trouble, hardships, and trials. Okay.
George said, married man, the focus is so different. Nobody goes to counseling. I am finding a lot of marriages are arranged, financial or status. Look, let me say this. That's a conversation to have, but not rush. Let me say this. For those who are, if say for instance you are engaged, one of the most important things that you can do for your couple, for yourself, is to go to counseling. Don't get married. Don't get married to anybody without going to counseling. Don't, because in the midst of your counseling,
don't get married and still not go to counseling.
Don't get married and still not go to counseling. Counseling is good. Don't believe this crap. And I'm gonna say it. Don't believe this mess that the church be telling you that you don't need to go to counsel, or that you don't need to. No, you get the help you need. Yes, pray. Yes, study the word of God. Yes, do that. Yes, but why in the world would God create a counselor? Or why would God create a therapist? Why would he do that if you didn't need to go see him? Go see him.
That's just a some selfish
go see him.
way or not at all.
Yes, please go see them. But yeah.
So you're saying the generation that today that we have is basically all or nothing because everything is, a lot of people are independent. You know, society now has made a lot of stuff convenient. Everybody's an entrepreneur now. Everybody's a self-made superstar celebrity on YouTube and Instagram. You know, everybody's just living their life. A lot of people are doing their own businesses and stuff now. So it's either you with me.
People are getting married later now.
So it's either you with me, yeah. And I have read that. I've read articles that this generation, millennials, generation with Z and Y, everything that's after the millennials, they are getting married later. So a lot of them are not getting married until like their 40s. A lot of them are choosing education and entrepreneurship way before they
and they shouldn't, Javar. They shouldn't. They should not perform these marriages before you go to some counseling.
Most pastors will not perform well without counseling first, right?
Joanna said it's the way. It's way too many mind games being played. I agree. Both men and women. Thank you, Joanna, for saying both men and women.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Not just the women, not just the men. Women play just as many games. Matter of fact, women play better games now in 2020. The men are outdated now.
Do you think it's because of social media? For y'all that are out there, do y'all think it's because of social media?
You know what? To be
honest,
honest,
that the reason why everybody is so independent, everything is so quick and convenient?
I think I think also, and this is to be in defense of the women, I think women play so many games because men have played games for so long.
So girls
are like, yo, I'm gonna get you before you get me.
Yeah.
So it's I think that's more of a.
Vete said because of dating apps, side pieces at end times allows you to jump from bed to bed and do not have to deal with your attitude itself. Yeah. To see the day of hook. I think also to add to that, I think also too because of sexuality too. A lot of more people are bolder with their sexuality.
Yeah.
Like you got so many sexuals. Nothing against the LGBTQ community. Then you got the asexual, bisexual, pansexual. There's a few more sexuals. And some, they don't have sex with nobody. Some just have sex with just women, just men. Some have sex with all of them. They don't care what it is. It could be a stuffed animal. Some could be with a dog. Some could be with a computer. You know, some people are very liberal now with their sexuality. So it's like they having foursomes, computers, dogs, pets, animals. A lot of women.
She mean robots. Yeah,
that's it. A lot of women are having more dildos, some of everything.
Steve said, "You gotta understand. We gotta understand. We can't do it alone, men nor women. We need each other. So that independent stuff, it is trash. I agree, man. I agree." He says social media has people in minds wrapped. Rick said these days the first question should be, are you dating with the end result of marriage? That is a great question. I think that's what Ty was saying earlier. Ty was saying that he's single, but he's dating with a purpose.
Right.
So he's dating with the purpose of getting married, not just free dating.
Yeah.
David said, cause they allow the fact of people in their ears and their head trying to keep up with friends. Right. George said social media plays a big role in it. I've seen marriages end due to social platform. Yep, because they use it for the wrong reason, George. Yep. Rick said that determines are you dating for fun or marriage, right? Because some people do date for fun. Some people don't date with no intentions of getting married. Vete said because they accept it now and it's not frowned upon. Don't choke.
Yeah, I said
and
stuff.
She said stuffed animals, man. She did, dude. I pray to God that I need to get. Man, she got a whole bunch of them things. What you doing?
I'm sorry. I just
obsessed with stuffed animals. Yeah, Sheol bound. Yes, Sheol bound with gasoline drawers, smoking. So nobody's preaching about abomination anymore. You're right, Ms. Margaret. They don't. Yeah. They don't really preach about that anymore. Sherry, I think you enjoyed making your statement. She did, which makes me want to think what she be doing with them stuffed animals.
It was just funny to me because never mind. Anyway,
I don't know how to feel about that. I can't with it either, George. I just can't.
All I know is we are all beautiful in our own right.
Yeah.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I even been told that I was gorgeous.
Yes. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I think the first beholder should be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You should see how beautiful you are. That means, beautiful means I see my flaws and all. That means I see my insecurities as well as my strengths. You know what I'm saying? I see my weaknesses as well as my strengths. I see my flaws as well as my strengths. You know what I'm saying? I see the whole picture of myself, but I'm beautiful as I am. Right. My whole package is beautiful. And that, and you know, and if God allows me to wake up every day to live my life, then I should live it to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? I should do what He's asked of me to do and go out there and spread some sunshine to someone, some joy to someone, and love on someone. You know what I'm saying? Because the love you give is the love you so receive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I believe that if you do pray and say, God, you know, I'm preparing myself, help me prepare myself for my husband, or, you know, husband, you know, God, lead me to my wife. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the position that you're supposed to be in, that means loving your life, learning who you are, you know what I'm saying, getting to know the great things about you, making yourself better, then you're putting yourself in a position to be received or to be given. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, you have to learn how to love yourself.
You're right, and the thing is, y'all, people gonna have opinions, man, until they leave this earth. But the thing is, man, don't allow somebody's opinion to define who you are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have the power to define who you are.
Right.
And if you really want to know who you are, here's a spiritual plug. If you really want to know who you are, get your relationship with God. Because we was talking about, you know, even the eyes that you see, and that Sherry said first you should see yourself. But even through your eyes are contaminated. Your eyes are tainted. You know what I'm saying? So how do you even know what perfection looks like if you don't know what perfection looks like? So I implore everybody up here. Get a relationship with God. Get a relationship with God. Get into His Word. You know what I'm saying? Get to know who He is, because He's the only one who can truly show you how to define who you are, how to figure out who you are. And He's the only one that can speak to you when others are speaking negativity to you, to tell you, you know what, you are fearfully. When you are, and you're going to be you are your worst critic.
You are your worst critic.
And even when you're speaking to yourself and you're telling yourself what you can't do, the Holy Spirit of God will speak to you and tell you how He's made you and what you're capable of doing. So if you really want, ladies, if you want a man, get with the right man, which is get your relationship with God. Men, if you want a woman, get with the right man, which is Christ.
Right.
All right. That's the one you should be consulting first. Not your friend, not your neighbor, not even your pastor. Sorry. Get to know him. Right. Because he will get you in line. He will get you in line for that husband. He will get you in line for that wife. All right. Steve said.
Okay.
He said beyond the Bible though, you should want someone that's going to compliment you in all facets of life, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Someone who understands you and everything that makes you you. Flawed or not, they need that around. That no one you need to consider marriage with, or at least a long-term relationship. Good.
And another thing, be comfortable with waiting for your special someone. Don't close yourself off to the possibility of love. And that's what I was about to say, Steve. So thanks for saying that.
Betsy said the government and society has put it in our minds that we must accept the sin or the LGBTQ community, or consider a hate crime. Right. That so that that is why people have become more open in sexuality and boldness. Good. I will say this though, guys, because a lot of people in the Christian community do this. Just because somebody chooses to be gay, let's still treat them with love. Let's not, do this bashing like most people do, because if it ever comes an opportunity where God will use you, or He opens the door for you to speak to that person, to minister to them, you won't be able to, because you have excommunicated yourself from that opportunity. Yeah. So no matter what they choose to be, no matter how they choose to live the life, our job as Christians is to love them like the Bible says, and it's to preach Jesus. Yeah, it's not to condemn them, it's not to beat them up, because they are still a soul. So it's to preach, it's to preach holiness. Exactly, it is to preach holiness, but it's to preach, it's for us to go by Matthew 28. It's not for me to beat them over the head, because it's such was some of you. For everything that I tell them that they are, there's a finger pointing back to me to magnify my mistakes and my imperfections.
Right. So, we have truly enjoyed you guys tonight. We have truly enjoyed. I'm glad that y'all came up here
We're going to do this more often.
And y'all chatted
It was
with
my
us,
idea.
Or whatever. I love the fact that the singles came up here and they talked. I really did.
Right,
and
Betcha.
I would love to have panel discussions. And those that are desiring to be married, you know what I'm saying? It's a choice. And it could be a great thing. I don't want you to think marriage is not a great thing.
It's
marriage
a wonderful
is a great
thing.
thing. It's a wonderful thing. But it's hard work. You know what I'm saying? But also being single.
You're right.
Single is a great thing. But it's also hard work. At the end of the day, it's a win-win situation.
It is.
It's a win-win situation. But at the end of the day, you have to learn how to love yourself. You have to learn how to... And not only... When he said earlier, put God first and you'll know who you are. Yes, but also surround yourself with healthy people. Surround yourself with healthy people that speak life to you, that encourage you, that want to see things great for you. You know what I'm saying?
We love you too.
So yeah, Sherry about to fall asleep. Who said that, George? Forget you, George.
That's because she's talking about them stuffed animals.
But I do.
I'm going to burn them things.
We love you guys. We pray that y'all continue to be safe in the midst of this COVID-19.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? Continue to pray for those that are sick. And I'm not just talking about the ones that have COVID-19. Continue to pray for people because some people are struggling. Check in on your friends and your family that may have mental issues, that are struggling with depression and oppression in the midst of all this. Some people are really scared. Fear has tormented them on a daily basis. Pray against that. And then not only that, I speak life to everyone and be encouraged that God is bringing something great out of this.
He is,
Have you positioned yourself to hear what he's about to do? Because he's about to reward his children.
He is.
And he's about to bless those that are still here. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? A new change is coming. Yep. I said it a couple of weeks ago. What are we preparing for? Because new things are coming. New great things are coming. Some different changes are coming that we may not like. But there's some new things that are coming. And what are we doing? Are we putting ourselves in position for it? Are we preparing for it? Are we getting ourselves mentally and emotionally and spiritually ready for what is about to take place? God, help me with my boldness. God, help me to maintain my tongue when I'm supposed to speak, when I don't supposed to speak. You know what I'm saying? God, change my mindset from negative to positive. God, remove the fear out of my life. You know what I'm saying? Help me to be an encouragement to somebody else. Help me to pass it forward. You know what I'm saying? Who is in need during this season? Who needs food? Who needs shelter? Who needs clothes? You know what I'm saying? All those type of things. Like, there are so many areas that we can touch. Just ask God, what area is it that you want me to touch? And no touch is too small and no touch is too big. Honestly, we need to go out there and reach who we can reach. You know what I'm saying? And not just do Facebook Lives. Don't get me wrong. I love our Facebook Live. It's time to have fun and chime away. But you know what I'm saying? We still got to put our hands to the plow. God went out and touched the people. And sometimes we still got to go out and touch people. I know it sounds contradictory, but some people need a touch. And whether it be your gloves, your hand, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing your face through a window, it helps to see that presence. You know what I'm saying? You feel the warmth from a baby survives from the touch of their mother or the touch of a parent when they're on the body. Sometimes we just need that touch, and that touch can be like that. So we pray that y'all stay encouraged. We pray that you stay covered by Jesus' blood. We pray that you love still in spite of, you know what I'm saying? And whatever is going on in this season, whatever God is doing, because he's doing a lot, make sure you're getting your heart and your mind right, that you're taking the time out to pray and get yourself together. Do a retrospect, an introspect, whatever you want to call it, a self-reflect. Do whatever you got to do to get yourself aligned with God. No matter what the outside world is saying, you still are loved by God. You are still valuable to God. You are still worth something to God. You have a purpose on this earth. If you woke up with breath in your body, that means you have a purpose and you have to complete it. Because God is not going to allow you to mess it all up. You can't even hinder it. He said he has you in the palm of his hand and nothing can pluck you out. So if God has you covered, don't put yourself in situations or allow people to put yourself in situations that can pluck you out. So with that being said, I love everybody.
Be better, guys. After this thing is over, be better. Don't go back to being the same person. Don't go back to being the same old hateful way. Don't go back to being the unleavened way. Be better. Be better. God has put us He's put us in a position now to be better, to live better, to see better, to think better, just to be better all the way around.
Yeah.
So we love you guys. We're going to do this again, man.
Yeah.
We're going to do this again.
So.
And for those who up here, look, we were supposed to launch Restoration Tabernacle
we supposed to launch our church this Sunday.
This Sunday.
We were supposed to launch our church.
We're not physically launching Restoration Tabernacle of Praise,
nope.
But we launching the Restoration Tabernacle of Praise. We got something coming for you. So you guys better look out. Love y'all. Love y'all.
Love you
And remember,
guys.
don't mess with any